Every single year, every single winter, they come on the news and they say people are freezing to death.
I hate how most people are socialized to believe that just like that's the way life is. That's the way the workforce is. That's the way it's supposed to be.
How it's
change it.
Like this how life's always been. It's like no, like, definitely not. Like it's a recent thing.
Yeah,
not even 50 years.
See, cause here's the problem, right? Here is the problem. The system as it functions today did work better a few decades ago, right? It did work better. Your raises were more substantial. Your wages were more substantial, right? Even from the beginning, right? You were making money that would actually put you through life and allow. Why do you like boomers were able to have families? Imagine a zoomer having a family. That is a funny joke. That is pure comedy, okay?
Oh yeah, for sure. Even the prospect of buying a house. In my neighborhood right now, the houses all around me are worth millions. Or like at least $1 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And okay, imagine if you're working a $20 an hour job. So you make like $45K a year, right? You can't even break into that like housing. Like you can't even break into that like owning a house because okay, you have to make a down payment, right? And that's like what 10 to 15%, like depending on your credit and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So you have to fork over literally $100,000 to even be able to walk into the house and call it yours.
Yeah.
Not to mention paying it off.
Yeah.
And it's just like our parents didn't have to deal with that shit. The down payment used to be like what 30K. Maybe that would take you like a good 3 to 4 years to save up for max. Like,
bro, my grandma, every single time I see her, she talks about how she made $3 an hour for her. I don't even know what the exact story was, but she was telling me how she made $3 an hour for fucking ever, it seems. And then she was able to buy a house. Apparently she got scammed, but at the end of the day, she owned a house. So really, how bad was that scam, right? You know, it's probably fucked up, but like, you own a house. So I would rather get scammed to own a house than not. But, you know, that's just me, right? And then, but I think she sold it, and then her husband had a house, so then that's where they live now or whatever the fuck, right? But she was able to, now she has a fairly sizable bank account for retirement, right? Like, she's good. But the point is, at that time, you were making money that you could actually extend, you know? We don't have that. So the problem is that boomers and, you know, Gen Z, and people who grew up in a society that was actually, you know, it was more feasible for you to make it on you know, on your own merit or whatever the fuck the myth is, right? That same very system is extremely corrosive and parasitic, right? Capitalism consumes everything that it comes in contact with, right? And there's no way, like, at some point, it's just like, okay, well, you know, sure, maybe people can buy these houses, maybe people can, you know, have a family, but we're not making enough money, and we need to make more, right? Like, this is what you get.
I should bring up something along the lines of that. Is it like, notice how no starter homes have ever been built for like a good while. Like, think about like the first houses our parents got or the first houses our grandparents got.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's like a bungalow. It's not too big, maybe like 3 bedrooms or some shit like that, right? They don't make that shit anymore because they can make so much more money off of bigger spaces, more luxurious type of amenities.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they don't want to build anything else.
Yeah.
They don't want to build things for our generation to be able to like break into the housing market with.
In Toronto, they're not building apartment complexes. They're not building, you know, even public houses. Public housing. It's a fucking mission to get public housing built in Toronto because all the people, you know, rich people in the neighborhoods that surround where those spaces will be built complain about property value, right?
And then you have douchebags like Jerry Agar who go on the radio and say, "Look at the mess that Toronto's public housing system is already. Do you want more of that?" Blah, 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 blah,
yes, blah. Because people can't afford houses. Like, it's that, like, oh, I hate rich people so much. Toronto does hate the working class on some real shit. Toronto hates the working class.
But one thing that I want to bring up too is just like, okay, it's so much trouble to even get a public housing situation set up in Toronto in any sort of zoning. But then you get Pharrell to come into the city and design a few houses, like just like that. Like, I was so livid when I saw that.
What
shit. I love his music. I love what he's done, but it's just like, do you understand the impact you're having by gentrifying things?
If you're the city of Toronto, and people are telling you don't build houses here that would make it so that people could actually afford a place to live because I don't want my property value to go down, I would say, fuck you. Listen, we have a homelessness crisis, you know, every single year, every single winter, they come on the news and they say people are freezing to death every single year. Yes.
Can I second to that? Because of all of Ontario, Toronto, not the GTA, Toronto, the city of Toronto pays like the least property tax of most places in the GTA. And so
God knows.
They're paying dirt cheap property tax. So what are they bitching about, really? Like, they still continue to increase rent.
At the end of the day,
we can have this conversation about owning property, but like, even when you rent property and you're a tenant, you're fucked over so hard.
Yes.
It's like there's no win.
And you know why? It's because capitalism is a corrosive and parasitic system, which necessarily has to extract as much as it can. They talk about getting blood from a stone. That's literally what the system is designed to do, right? Up until you can't do it anymore.